Zeus. Pull up to the gate at 1600 on the map. Yeah, the people's house, I make it like a trap. Marble floors and chandeliers, I'm balling through the wall. Power to the people, yeah, I gotta make that call. Trapping for the team, red and white and blue, that's me. Voices on the block, I'm breaking through, I got the keys. I'm in the lobby, yeah, I'm moving like an OG. Posted in the Oval Office in the executive suite. Yeah, signing for the fam, yeah, you know my game strong. Freedom is the banner, and I got my chains on. Secret Service watching snipers sitting on the roof. Truth is hitting hard, I bury you inside the boot. Founding father's vision, yeah, I'm flexing with this cash. Big pharma, big tech, turn these dreams to bags. I'm the voice of the hood, trying to come and storm the gates. Ballots in my hands, but the system's overweight. They painted white, yeah, but the stains running deep. Promise they selling it, but you know it ain't coming cheap. Legends walk these rooms, Lincoln, MLK, now it's photo ops. Power plays all day, I'm trapping for the vote. Big Zeus, it's the people's house. Big Zeus, powers in the air. Big Zeus, yeah, we knocking on the door. Big Zeus, we wanna hear your soul. Yeah, yeah. Who you think they asking for? They asking for that smoke. People or them players, yeah, y'all think this is a joke. Take it back and write the code. 1600, got your soul. Put my portrait on the wall. They staring at me like I'm cold. Greatest story ever told. I will never ever fold. Trapping out the West Wing, doing deals all in the dark. Make your dreams come true. All I need is a spark. Red phone ringing, but you don't know who is on my line. Got the Constitution jumping, yeah, you know I'm so divine. No stains on my kicks and the rally outside. And the gates is locked. This power never divides. Spitting for the block. Dead buses make them wanna fight. 1600, do it all day, all night. The people's house is a trap. Got the power, get it back. Money talk loud, time to clap. Fight for the keys, that's a fact. It's a rap, I'ma bring it back. In the people's house, power's in the air. Yeah, it's the people's house. We knocking on your door. It's the people's house. We wanna hear it so.
1600 Pennsylvania.
Big Zeus.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do. Let's get this show started. All right, happy, what is it, Tuesday? I'm losing track of the time. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see where we at. Oh, here we go. Let's get this show started, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we are back.
It's deja vu when I'm out here flying first class. It's like every week I gotta take out the trash. I'm on top of my game, ahead of the class. You can tell that I made it, look at my grass. Cars in the garage with
Good morning.
Gas.
Yes.
I play the game so well, I won't finish last. Sitting in my living room screaming how we made it. This is how it's supposed to be when you get your famous.
Happy Tuesday.
Really turned to a maniac. Yeah, I guess we going viral cause my Zodiac. I got all these numbers on my spreadsheet.
You know I do.
Benjamin Franklin is my last kid.
Yes, WQ as well, ladies and gentlemen.
They don't get me pops.
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen.
I say it with my chest cause I mean it.
Here's the favorite part.
Got a lot of confidence and I'm conceited.
Here's my favorite part right here. It always, same story, different day. Here it goes, here it goes.
I'ma take off in a spaceship.
What's it?
I'll tell you what, I haven't gone into Zeus's last
That's a lie.
couple of days.
Drug test.
It was radical.
Very radical.
It was horrible. I'm like, Zeus has gone way off the rails.
It's like deja vu.
You think I've gone way off the rails?
It's like deja vu.
I'm just on TikTok. Have you seen this country? Are you kidding me, ladies and gentlemen? I tell you. All right, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we are back in the Thunderdome. I am your host. I am your pilot. You know exactly why we are gathered. We have to do the real work, ladies and gentlemen, that it takes to save this great country of ours from the same usual suspects. And I got more information about it. And it's just amazing. I haven't heard a single thing about these suspects from the folks on the right. Yes, please. If this is your first time tuning in to a show like this, make sure you are tapping the screen, sharing the live, and supporting in all ways possible, all right? Because without you, ladies and gentlemen, this show, honestly, it wouldn't be possible. Now, for those of you, this is your first time running across someone like myself, let me introduce myself. I go by the name Zeus, or as some like to say, Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H? Well, it's quite simple. The first H is because, well, it's because I am honest. I am the most honest person on social media, hands down. There's nobody more honest than me. Actually, I say things sometimes that probably will get me into trouble, but if it's the truth, I'll say it in order to prove the point, right? So that's the first H. The second H is because I'm humble. We're all human, right? And so with that, you have to always leave yourself some room to apologize, right? Because nobody is perfect, right? And so that's why I'm the most humble person on social media, hands down. And then there's the last H, ladies and gentlemen, which is I get a little nervous every time I use this one, but this is the one that probably will get me into a lot more trouble than the first two, but it's necessary. It is because I am and will always remain, you've guessed it. What is that? The most handsome. Good morning, Takesha. Nice to see ya. Nice to see ya. Now, what we do is on this show is we used to debate a lot of Trump voters, but I believe the center of the country has shifted. And you can see that being reflected in the most recent poll numbers. Once I saw that President Biden is actually polling better than Donald Trump, I said, okay, show's over. We're done. We don't need to debate MAGA anymore because we've done an outstanding job getting the truth out there. The rest of the country, if you are in the United States of America and you don't know that Donald Trump is the worst president in American history, then there's something wrong with you. I mean, obviously you're consuming way too much Fox News, all right? But everyone on this show, everyone that comes up here, don't we all know, do we all agree that Donald Trump is the worst president in the United States of America, ladies and gentlemen, in American history? Is Donald Trump the worst president that we've ever had? I just want to check with the audience real quick. No, seriously. Is Donald Trump the worst president? Look at the chat. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. And so listen, thank you. W to the chat. So it's amazing. This is what makes shows like this it's in a way entertaining. We get Trump voters to get in here and they will argue us until they're blue in the face that Donald Trump is the best president and he's doing everything that they say that this is what we voted for. But if you get them to come up here, 1,000% of the time, they'll start talking about Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, Joe Biden. And it's like newsflash. Donald Trump is the sitting president. And I don't want to hear about that because you can't say Obama got impeached. He had 2 terms. Obama didn't get impeached at all. Joe Biden had 1 term. He didn't get impeached. Donald Trump on his first term got impeached twice. And he's on his way to getting impeached again, right? And so with that understanding, there's really nothing to debate. It's more about why are you still running around here on social media repeating the Fed talking points, being a shill, MAGA, being bootlickers. All right. You don't like it when we call you cult members and stuff like that. So we'll call you the appropriate terms. And so before I go any further, you know what I do in the Thunderdome. I like to give people a bit of a heads up and a PSA announcement. Do I have Trump voters out there? Look at this guy in my audience, J.E. Look at his name. He calls himself Jeffrey Epstein. This is sick. These folks have no shame, ladies and gentlemen. Look at him. Look at him in the chat right there. He calls himself Jeffrey Epstein. Let me go ahead and do this next part. If you're a Trump supporter and you don't want me to hurt your feelings, leave right now because it's going to get very uncomfortable for you in this show. I promise you it will. But get this, you don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
All right. And so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, W's in the chat for Rick. Make sure you're tapping the screen. And I got to say this because we had a crazy live yesterday. Please make sure that you aren't. Let me see if I can do this. Please make sure you are not accidentally in the guest request. All right, I usually take guest requests after I do my monologue. All right, so if you are tapping the screen, just double check that you're not in the guest request. All right, seriously, I appreciate that. So, I was going to get into the Epstein stuff, ladies and gentlemen, because we're going to have to talk about that. But I just got a question for MAGA. This came across my timeline this morning, and so my first question is: does anyone think Donald Trump is doing good with the economy? Does anyone out there think Donald Trump is doing good with the economy? Let me see. Good morning. Does anyone think Donald Trump is doing good with the economy? All right, great. The guy who calls himself, or whoever it is, they call themselves Jeffrey Epstein. It's sick, all right? But W to all of you who said no. So we know that the job numbers were revised, and Donald Trump only created, 180,000 jobs last year. And I don't even believe that number. I actually think it was negative, all right? Seriously, WVIP. But this morning, and by the way, RIP to Reverend Jesse Jackson, all right? And that's because that's serious too. But I only got so much time to talk on this show, right? And this morning, we got some nasty news about Donald Trump's economy. And so let's get this on the record. According to what they're saying, prices are going to start rising even more than where they've already risen. And this is so bizarre. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. Bear with me. Sometimes, if you let it sit here too long, it gets, what is this? It gets a little stale. Hold on. There we go.
A new warning about price
there you
hikes.
go. See,
Several
I got
major
it.
companies warn they are raising prices this year, in large part because of the president's tariffs. And the hikes will hit several areas, from your wardrobe to your spice rack. CNN's Matt Egan is with me now. What about my skinny jeans, Matt?
Well, some of them are going up as well. Levi Strauss says because of tariffs, they're lifting some of their men's jeans prices by $5 a pair, women's jeans prices by $10. And look, companies are doing this for a variety of reasons. They're citing higher wages for workers, higher healthcare costs, and of course the president's tariffs. We also have seen big price hikes from McCormick, the spice company. They say that $50 million tariff cost because of those higher costs from the president's tariffs. They've had to take what they're describing as, quote, surgical price increases. And Columbia Sportswear also raising some of their prices as well. Not just major corporations, though, John. Some small business owners say that they're lifting their prices as well. Ooh. The vast majority in this recent survey, 54%, say that they plan to raise prices over the next few months. That's that blue chunk of this pie chart. 42%, that's the yellow chunk, say they're going to keep it the same. Only 3%, that little green slice, say they plan to lower prices. Now, some of this kind of seems like normal start of the year stuff when companies often look at their prices. Some of it seems a bit more aggressive. The Wall Street Journal talked to a construction company based in Cincinnati where they said because of healthcare costs and because of steel tariffs, they need to raise their prices by 10 to 15%. Wow. They told the Journal it's just not sustainable for us to handle and tolerate that kind of increase in prices without some sort of concessions for our customers. Now, all of this comes as some new research comes out about who's paying for the tariffs, right? The president insists it's those foreign exporters, but the New York Fed found that just 10% of the tariffs last year were absorbed by foreign exporters slashing their prices. The vast majority, 90%, from U.S. importers and all of us consumers. And some of those importers, they're having some trouble passing along the cost because higher prices, it's denting demand, it's turning off consumers. And so I think, John, all of this explains why economists are divided about what happens next with inflation. Despite that better than expected January inflation report, a lot of companies are still trying to sort this out and figure out how they can handle the president's tariffs and how much they can pass along to all of us as consumers.
We're looking at the McCormick spices, so the prices may go up there. All I know is that I have some McCormick spices in my shelf, probably from the 1960s. So it may be.
Wow. And so you hear bad news like that, ladies and gentlemen, right? And this is why I'm going to send Trump voters straight to hell. You voted for this, right? He grifted you with the golden shoes. Remember, he grifted you with the golden cell phones. Everything Donald Trump does is a grift. But you got cheaper gas prices, right? What good is cheaper gas prices when he's getting it out of you in every way he can? It's a scam, and you keep falling for it. So we have a war on our wallets. This is the real war. This is supposed to be the president of peace, right? But there's a war clearly on our wallets. We don't got our utility bills cut in half. Yeah, someone put the cheaper eggs and the cheaper gas. Oh, I'd rather have cheap eggs. And then guess what? At the end of the year, because of your tariffs, you're charging me a whopping $3,000 extra dollars. Well, then I'm not really getting cheaper eggs. And it's people like, I just don't understand why MAGA won't come clean and admit that they are getting conned and that they're getting duped. Oh, but your 401ks are doing great. Well, pull the money right out of the 401k right now and see what happens, MAGA. Oh, you'll get penalized, huh? And you can't do that. So it's money you will never, ever touch. Let's talk about the money you're touching. The money you're touching is clearly being, as far as I'm concerned, you're paying way more than you would have had to pay if Kamala Harris would have been the president of the United States. And this is why we're in the situation we're in. And this is not even the worst of it, ladies and gentlemen. When this is all said and done, and I haven't said it in a while, but, you know, some people get mad at me because I used to say, when Donald Trump, if he becomes the president, and I always knew it because it's the ultimate projection, we are heading towards a 1929 style depression, one like we've never seen before. And it's happening right in our faces. But leave it to Donald Trump. You know what he'll say?
The stock market is only up because they think I'm going to win. And if we don't win, according to many people, including one of the greatest Wall Street prognosticators, named Scott Bessent. Has anyone heard of him? One of the most brilliant guys on Wall Street. If I don't win, you will have a 1929 style depression. Enjoy it. I believe that.
Okay.
I believe that.
See, that's Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen. That's Donald Trump projecting, right? What we're seeing right now, we have record job loss, record economy. It's not even growing that fast, all right? And then you look at it, our gas prices are going through the roof. Our utility prices are going through the roof. And we're just being taxed out of the wazoo. And it's not helping the everyday American people. So what we're going to do is warm up the lake of fire. Yeah. Because we just can't continue to pretend like things are great when they're clearly not. And MAGA, you've been exposed once again being the biggest liars on the face of the earth. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending these liars straight to hell.
Silence.
Yeah.
You MAGA daily.
And that's a huge W, Zeus. Does anyone out there disagree with me so far? Because I'd like to make sure folks are actually paying attention. Does anyone out there disagree with me right now about what I just covered? Because I can already tell you, got my utility bill last month. I said to myself, this guy literally has gone on record and told us all he would cut the utility bill in half. DJ, you think I'm wrong, DJ? See, look at him. What am I wrong about, DJ? What am I wrong about? And if you ask DJ to explain what I'm wrong about, he'll come up and ask me a bunch of questions, but he knows that I'm right. So we got some more alarming news coming from the cult, ladies and gentlemen. And this is serious business. I don't know if you can see it, but okay, this is Evan Kilgore. This is a Trump voter who's been decimated by the state of Ohio because he got a business, he has a business tied to, growing that stuff. But he says right now, I am never going to vote Republican again. And this is a Trump voter. At any level, the state of Ohio and Indiana GOP have both royally screwed my family's livelihood. The GOP sucks. I am so black-pilled, you don't even understand. All of our politicians sell out to big donors. Screw the GOP. All right, so, and that's a huge W, Zeus. Oh, somebody asked, DJ, I haven't heard from you in a while. DJ, I can easily debunk whatever it is you're saying. I can easily debunk. You said you wanted me to say something and you called me big boy. That's an offer I can't refuse. That's an offer I can't refuse.
Yeah.
So,
Zeus, How exactly are we heading to a 1929 style depression then?
Well, let me ask you this: how many jobs did we create last year?
January we created 150,000.
No, I said last year.
Well, I don't care what you said about last year. Everything is moving in the right direction. But instead, you want to try to
So higher grocery prices, in your opinion, DJ.
There are some things that are higher. There are
Like
some
what?
things that are lower, Zeus.
Like what? What's higher?
Meat is higher.
Okay, what else? Let's go through the list.
I don't know. You tell me. You have all the
No,
answers, Zeus. You're
no,
telling me
okay.
that we're heading towards this big. I mean, the GDP
I'll
is growing
modify
at a great
it.
rate.
I'll modify it.
Unemployment is down.
Mm-hmm.
Inflation is down.
So
tell me what's giving you your indication that we're heading that way.
Well, number one, I personally, I've grown to understand that I probably shouldn't trust the numbers coming from the Trump administration, and I believe that I should, I should trust the money.
Same government stats that you got before. Now those same government stats are lying to you. Is that what you're saying?
It depends.
The
right?
same government agencies that these are coming from.
Well, because what you're seeing is the president of the United States. Would you agree, being way more involved in these federal agencies and their day-to-day operations? Do you agree that Donald Trump is basically forcing the leaders to do whatever he says do, more so than Joe Biden?
So Donald Trump is making them give these good numbers. Is that what you're saying?
Right, because
none of these are independent numbers.
Because why is he threatening Jerome Powell? Remember? What's that all about? Why is he
Jerome
investigating
Powell wasn't
him?
doing what was best for the economy. That's why.
Yeah, so that's why I say we're heading towards.
Have you seen who's going to be the new leader? Have you seen
and
who's
he has,
going to be
and
the
he
new
has,
head of the Fed?
I have, and he has a questionable background. He has a very questionable background because he can be linked to the Epstein files, and that's a whole different conversation. I mean, but
Seems
honestly,
to me, I remember.
Honestly, DJ,
I remember 1 year ago, you were making these same projections 1 year ago.
Yeah.
And we're nowhere close to what you were talking about.
But DJ,
nowhere close.
DJ, there was only 180,000 jobs created last year. Whether you want to admit
150,000 last month.
Whether you want to admit that or not, Joe Biden created at least 8 times that in 1 year when he was in office.
Joe Biden took credit for jobs that were created at the end of COVID, Zeus.
Oh.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
No, because no.
Oh, yes,
no. We
yes.
had
But you're wrong,
okay,
Bruce.
go ahead and give me the information behind that. Cite the source, please. Tell me that. Where'd you get that from? Because I've heard the concept of bounce.
I'll be happy to go ahead and pull it
I've
up.
heard about bounce back jobs, but a lot of businesses, they went out of business and they never returned either. So in a way, you're not being accurate about what happened. All right, and
in a way, I'm not.
You're not describing it, whether you want to admit it or not.
Zeus, tell me what the economic indicators there are right now to back up your story that we're heading to a 1920.
I just told you one of the biggest problems was the revised job numbers. How do you explain that? And most of the jobs weren't even in manufacturing. Where were they?
Manufacturing absolutely had an increase.
No. Where were most of the gains at with the jobs that were created last year? What industry?
Well, let's see. We know it wasn't the government because he shrunk the government down, which is what he promised that he would do.
Mm-hmm. So where? So if you're laying a bunch of people off, or you're terminating the employment. You're
talking about all these layoffs, but unemployment went down, Zeus. Why is that?
Well, because the numbers are skewed.
Oh, because the numbers.
Yeah,
are skewed.
but DJ. I get it.
You know what?
DJ, you asked me to come up. DJ, I just want to ask you
what I'm saying, Zeus, but you got nothing to back it up.
Well, I just told you. Let me ask you this.
Let
me ask
you
how
many jobs were created.
DJ, let me ask you this.
If all these layoffs and everything were like you said, unemployment would be going the other way. Well, it wouldn't be going down. It would be going up.
DJ, here's the thing. Here's the thing. And this is a trick I'm going to ask you. Let me ask to the audience. Does anyone believe anything DJ is saying in the chat? No, DJ. Hold on. Listen to this. Does anyone believe anything DJ is saying? No.
Zeus.
Hold on, DJ. DJ. I can't let you. I just can't let you just keep talking because it's like you're talking to a wall. Okay. So this is the part that I think is the biggest issue with the folks like yourself. Why do you think the more you talk, the more I'm going to, or we're going to believe you? Why do you think that?
Zeus, why do you think that I care? I think it's important that somebody stand up here and give different the real information based on what versus what you're saying, which is conjecture and gaslighting and everything else.
Okay.
Come on, Zeus.
Okay, but DJ, whether you want to take, if that's what you truly believe, you don't have the numbers on your side. Am I correct?
What numbers do you want to talk about?
The
Zeus?
majority of the people here do not believe what
No,
you're
I'm
saying.
talking about economic numbers, Zeus. I'm not talking about the people in your fan base. I'm talking about the economic
right. So, for
numbers.
instance, here's how I look at it, because I'm not an economist, DJ. All right, you got.
But you're predicting a 1929 style depression, but
and
you're not an economist.
Can you listen?
Right?
Here's how I see it. We got a lot of people being let go by the federal government. Unemployment with the black people is a lot higher right now. You have the tariffs, right, which are translating into people having to spend more. Wages aren't keeping up with inflation. You know this. And the revised job numbers showed that all the success Donald Trump has been saying we've had last year, right, is a lie.
Zeus,
No,
look on your computer right now and tell me if
DJ, have I lied, right? Have I lied?
Yes, you just lied about the wage growth is not keeping up with inflation.
Okay.
That's a lie.
Okay,
that is
prove
not
it.
true.
Prove it.
Okay, let's do it. Do you have a computer in front of you? I'm assuming.
Yeah, give me your source.
Okay, is inflation higher than wage growth? No, inflation is not higher than wage growth. In the latest U.S. data, inflation for all urban customers was 2.4%. Average hourly earnings in private non-farm employees is up 3.7%. Which number is bigger, Zeus? 3.7 or 2.4?
Well, let's just say 2.4. But here's the other thing, DJ, and I'll give you that. The reality is you're using.
So you'll give me the fact that you were incorrect.
Well,
that wage growth is not keeping up with inflation.
Yeah, I'm looking at it too. So I'll concede on that. All right. Now, was I wrong about the number of jobs that were lost? Will you give up on? Will you concede that there's record job loss as of last year? Because
Zeus,
DJ,
all right, let's look
DJ,
it
we're
up.
being honest. How many jobs did we gain last
I'm
year?
happy to look it up as well.
How many jobs did we gain last year? Because when you start talking about wages and things like that, well, you're dealing with a population of people that, well, it really doesn't matter as far as I'm concerned, because people are losing their jobs.
But unemployment is down.
Just answer the question, DJ.
I'm going to answer the question for you right now.
Just concede that we lost a lot of jobs last year. Just like I was able to say, okay, 3.4 is, 3.7 is more than 2.4.
Say that again, please.
Just like I was able to agree that 3.7% year over year, right? And this is hourly earnings, which is completely different than people who might be salary, but I'll go for it, right? I conceded that 3.7 is more than 2.4%. I need you to concede that Donald Trump did not create that many jobs last year, because your question is, and why am I saying it's a 1929 style depression, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I've played the video that shows you that these companies are out here saying prices are about to go up because of the tariffs, right? You agree with that, right? That's a reality that a lot of Americans are facing, correct?
That prices are going up because of the tariffs. The tariffs are producing exactly what they're supposed to be producing, Zeus.
How many jobs were created last year?
181,000.
So I was right.
I never said you were wrong, Zeus. You asked me how many jobs were created last year.
I was right. So
you were right.
Now,
am I right that 150 were added in January?
Now, how many jobs did Joe Biden create in his first year?
Again, you're not comparing apples to apples.
No,
you're not. You're
Can
comparing
you do it,
COVID.
DJ, I think we're doing great, because this is what it takes.
You're right.
Yeah, so
I'm doing great.
How many jobs did Joe Biden create in his first term? In his first year.
Let's look it up.
Because And while you're looking that up, the reason this is a problem is because I was under the impression that the tariffs would bring manufacturing jobs back to the United States, right?
It is bringing jobs back. Manufacturing jobs are up, Zeus. Do you want to
What's the
question
number?
that as well?
How many did Biden create?
Say again?
How many did Biden create?
How many manufacturing jobs
No.
did Biden create?
How many? You just like you looked up the 180,000 that Donald Trump created, and if you want to get technical, tell us about the revisions about the numbers Trump gave, right? Because it was revised down by how many? Like over 500,000, right? Right? The numbers that we got for Trump, they were revised downward. So that goes to your point. When you giving me these numbers, I still maintain the position that I don't trust the numbers coming out of this administration. But for the sake of this conversation, yes, the numbers you read, I can see them. They're saying 3.7% year over year in terms of the wages, but that's not translating to the average American person. Because the average American person
Who is it translating to, Zeus?
It says hourly employees, right? But not everyone is hourly, DJ. Right?
Do you think the majority of people are hourly, or
some people are their own
majority
business? Some
salary?
people are sole business. They own their own businesses. Some people could be salaried. There's a lot of different ways you can look at this. The way I look at it, DJ,
There's
is,
a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of
hold on,
ways that you
DJ,
can spin it.
DJ, honestly, the average American, they don't go to this level of degree to try to justify making decisions when it comes to what's going on in their household. You do get that, right? They're
No, I agree
literally
with that. I
they're
think that's a very
literally
fair statement.
going. They're literally going. I go to the grocery store. I go to the gas pump. Or I went to the shop and bought this, and they're seeing the difference. They're looking at their bills, and you don't want to acknowledge that everybody is agreeing that the cost of living has gone up since Trump got into office significantly. You don't want to acknowledge that. You don't give me Biden's numbers. So this is why I say this is a 1929 style depression. It's not going to just be like you wake up one day and boom, everything is bad. But if you look at how things are going, a lot of people
Zeus,
are very
that's what
upset.
we're talking about.
Yeah.
Zeus, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
We're talking about unemployment is down. We're talking about inflation is down. We're talking about manufacturing is up. We're talking about manufacturing hiring is up.
Okay, hold on.
I mean, the GDP
so
is
you never
up.
gave me those numbers though.
Are you still talking about Biden jobs
Yeah, how
during
many did he-
COVID?
yeah,
Is
how
that what
many-
you're talking about?
How many did Biden?
You must be looking at it. Give me the numbers, Zeus.
No, I'm asking you because it's a lot easier when you give us the numbers. It means you cannot tell me I'm spinning it.
But Zeus, who's the president of the United States?
So you're not going to give
Who's
us
the
Biden's
president of the
numbers.
United
So that's
States?
a huge W, Zeus. He doesn't give me Biden's numbers. Now,
Donald Trump is the president of the United States. Donald
About-
Trump has the economy going in the direction that he
so
wants.
I'm looking at
Donald
Pew
Trump-
Research. I'm
Look,
looking at
we'll have
Pew
this
Research.
conversation again
Hold on.
next year,
I'm
I
looking
guess.
at Pew Research. It says about 4 in 10 Americans, 38%, say they expect the economic conditions to be worse a year from now. Well, if Donald Trump is doing so great, DJ, why is that? Why do most Americans
Okay,
not
so
give him
let
credit
me
for
ask you-
doing such
let
a
me
great
ask you
job?
this question.
No, DJ,
If
DJ, you can't answer.
if
want to.
4 in 10, if 4 in 10 are saying it's going to get worse, what are 6 out of 10 saying?
Huh?
If 4 in 10 are saying it's going to get worse, what are the other 6 saying, which would be the majority?
It's not getting better.
You just said, Zeus,
No,
that
there's a
4 in
difference
10
between-
saying the
listen,
economy is going to get worse.
Listen. What you're not following this conversation, DJ. You're not following the conversation.
You're
What
spitting out stuff, not even knowing what you're saying. You just said that the minority think that the
I
economy's
say
getting
about
worse.
4 in 10 Americans say that they expect economic conditions to be worse a year from now. Fewer than 31% say they expect the economy will be better in a year, while 30% say it will be about the same. It's more than one category. I gave you one of the categories, DJ. My question to you
You
remains.
used the one
DJ,
that was convenient for you what you wanted to say,
well,
Zeus. is
because
what
you're
you
not
did.
you're not giving me anything to hey Zeus, this is why I say the economy is better. What is it that you have to offer me to make me believe that the economy is doing better? Because as far as I'm concerned, DJ,
Zeus, I just gave it to you. Are you
DJ,
not listening?
do we got
Unemployment, inflation, gas prices, All those things are not part of the
What about
economy.
health insurance? What about the cost of health care?
Health insurance, well, I absolutely agree with you 100%. Trump should be doing better on that. Absolutely.
What about the grocery prices and the fact that businesses are saying they're going to
The grocery prices, how much are
What about the
grocery
cost of
prices up
housing,
for the
DJ?
year?
What about the cost of electricity? All right.
All right, let's talk about electricity. Zeus. What do you think is the biggest driver right now in the rise of electricity cost?
Well, it's not about what I think, DJ. It's just the sad thing is this.
All right, well then how about a fact then? Do you want to know a fact?
Yeah.
Data centers are the biggest impact on electricity prices right now.
Okay.
I live in the state of Virginia. State of Virginia, okay?
Right. So you're
where
gonna
the
blame
Democrats
data-
just took over and it's going to turn it into California on the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
The worst thing that could possibly happen.
Got it.
But data centers are the biggest cost of increase in my electric bills every month.
So you're
Has nothing to do with Donald Trump.
hold on.
Look it up.
Okay, hold on. I'm looking it up. This is a great conversation.
Somebody in your chat is screaming about the Dow being over 50. Are they complaining about that? Or I mean, I don't get it. I mean, I just don't get what you guys.
Number one, your energy
are
bill
looking
within
for.
12 months.
Hold on.
Number one. By contrast, I'm announcing today that under my leadership, the United States will commit to the ambitious goal of slashing energy and electricity prices by half, at least half.
Okay, I'm waiting for your point.
We intend to slash prices by half within 12 months, at a maximum 18 months. And if it doesn't work out, you'll say, oh, well, I voted for him.
Now, so you've heard that, right?
Of course I did.
Did he say anything about data centers?
No, he did not.
Okay,
Zeus.
he said what he said. I get it, DJ. There's a lot of factors out here
Do
that
you think
contribute. Hold
that
on,
what I'm
hold-
saying
why-
is factual
why
or
is it-
not? Zeus?
Listen, I get it. There's a lot. I get it. There's a lot of factors, DJ, that contribute to costs going up.
Yep.
That's not something I'm really trying to have a conversation about. I'm having a conversation with you.
Does Donald Trump control the
Hold
building
on.
of data centers?
DJ, why is it every time I start talking, you just interrupt? I thought we were having a decent discussion. Does Donald Trump, to be honest with you, I really can't say, right? But I'll say this. When he made that statement, I was hoping he took into consideration that there were data centers, because data centers have been around for a while. So when he made that statement, there were data centers, right? Right?
They were, absolutely.
Yeah, okay. So
Okay.
this is the
How
problem.
many data centers are there now compared to when he made that statement?
I
Zeus?
can't do it, DJ. I can't do it because every single time, just like I could concede 3.7
Zeus,
is higher.
I'm not saying to you that's
Okay,
the
so
only
then acknowledge
reason.
that he's not delivering on this. It's that simple.
If he's absolutely not delivering
Okay.
on a promise that was 50%.
Stop.
Absolutely.
Stop. Has he delivered on
Right.
getting us affordable health care?
No, he has not.
Okay. Has he
No.
brought down the cost of rent and mortgages?
Rent and mortgages are definitely cheaper than they were when I'm in the business, Zeus. Mortgages are cheaper than when Donald Trump took office.
Okay.
That is a fact.
Okay. Rent. Let's do it your way.
Is rent less expensive? No, it is not.
Okay. All right.
No, it is not.
Okay.
The biggest
So,
increase that
hold
we've
on,
seen
hold
in
on.
housing and rent did not come under
Hold
Donald
on.
Trump.
I wasn't
Zeus.
done.
Okay,
Who
go
pays
ahead.
the tariff?
Who pays the tariff?
Yeah.
Depends on the on who's importing.
In general.
it, okay.
In general. We're speaking general.
In general, Zeus, I would
I just
agree
showed
with you. Please let me finish. In general, I would agree with you that the tariffs can be passed on to the American consumer. That is absolutely a fact. Okay.
DJ.
But what we are seeing, Zeus,
DJ, can I stop
is that
you? I need to stop
importers
you.
are now starting to
90
realize. All right,
according-
so you're not going to let me finish.
Well, because you're playing fast and loose with me, and I don't like that. When I saw
because
the stat,
nobody
hold
plays
on.
faster and looser than you,
Hold
Zeus.
on. When I saw the stat, it says 90% of the tariffs are being paid by the consumer, and you want to say could be? Come on, bro. This is why.
Zeus,
No. That's the issue. I just need you to speak very plainly. And the next part of
Okay.
that question is, and what is the average American paying over the year when it comes to the tariff? Because you want to convince me that I'm saving money with cheaper eggs and gas, right? That's your thing. But what is it costing the average American as a result of the tariffs?
Zeus, what you're going to see is that over a period of time, okay, the tariffs are going to take care of themselves. Okay. You asked me the question, I'm going to answer, and I'll be very brief.
Why?
Okay?
We don't got all day.
Initially, there was absolutely sting. Okay. Initially, absolutely. Did you see where India basically caved so that they could get so they could get less tariffs on them? The world is starting to see that the United States is not playing around. Donald Trump has not backed off of a lot of it. Some of it he has backed off of. Okay.
Yeah.
Has everything gone perfectly? No.
Okay.
But we're talking 1 year. We're talking 1 year into his administration, Zeus.
DJ.
And we're already seeing the results of those tariffs.
DJ, he's not polling that well on the economy. Yes or no? Go get me a poll.
I could say that his numbers should absolutely be better than they are.
So the answer is
But
no.
you know why, Zeus? We've got a national media that turns everything that could be positive into a negative. And you are the classic example of that.
All right, DJ.
You're sitting here talking about a
Okay.
1929 style
DJ,
depression
DJ.
when all
DJ,
economic numbers are going the other way, Zeus.
DJ. I am not the one making the polls go up and down. You do agree with that, right? Or are
Absolutely.
you going? Okay.
Absolutely.
I would imagine that Donald Trump is actually more responsible for his poll numbers on all of the issues than the average American is on an individual level. Would you agree?
Okay.
All right. So
Okay.
Okay.
Let's say that I give you that, Zeus.
Okay. No.
Let's say that
you
I
have
give
no
you
other
that.
choice. But so DJ, here's the thing.
Okay. So I have no other choice. But are you
Hold
willing
on,
to concede?
DJ, I need you to listen. I need you to listen. It's not just for you. It's people like you. You can try to defend this stuff until you're blue in the face. It's never going to work.
I'm not defending anything but
Then
good
why are
numbers,
you getting?
Zeus.
Then why
That's
are you
what I'm
getting so
defending.
defensive?
I'm-
You're
I don't think I'm getting
you're
defensive
literally-
at all because I've got truth on my side, Zeus.
I'm literally breaking it down to you in simple terms. All right. So
You're talking about poll numbers, Zeus.
He's not polling that well, and you conceded on that.
Okay.
So that has nothing to do with Zeus's show. That has everything to do with the fact that Donald Trump. Hold on, because this is going to sting you, DJ. He's a documented liar, and Americans are now real. Some people who I've already known this, but a lot of people who were independents and maybe even some of his loyal followers, they're starting to realize that his policies are actively harming them. That's why his poll numbers, it has really nothing to do.
Give me an example.
Huh? The
Give me an
tariffs.
example. The tariffs are doing, and everything is moving in the
DJ,
direction that they're
okay,
supposed
okay,
to do.
Okay, but
Zeus.
see, DJ, you can
You wanna
write,
talk
DJ,
about the
hold
initial
on,
sting?
hold on, DJ. I would totally believe it if his poll numbers reflected that reality. But you and I have already agreed his poll numbers don't reflect that reality. That's not to say that there are some people who might be benefiting from these tariffs. I agree, there's some of them. But the overall electorate is saying, we don't like them. The overall electorate is saying, we don't like 11% to 13% increases in our utility bills. The overall electorate, DJ, is saying, yeah, the stock market is doing 50, over 50, but that's not translating to what we're dealing with on a daily basis. And they've made that really clear in these poll numbers when it comes to the economy. And the list goes on and on. Do you get that, DJ? So you can try to, blow smoke up people's rear ends and say, well, I'm in the industry and it's really not that bad. And he's been in office for only a year. Well, remember when you were all saying 100 days? Remember Liberation Day? Remember we were supposed to be doing really prosperous? It's not translating, DJ, and we're not buying the gaslighting. Next, what else do you got? You don't have anything, right?
You've heard everything I got, Zeus.
Okay. All right, fair enough.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's a good thing for
the
you.
The facts are put right in front of you.
Yeah,
and
that's a
you
good
still
thing
want to sing up here and you want to play the chicken little game.
Yeah.
The sky is falling. The sky is falling.
yeah.
The sky is not falling.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
The
But you
country
have-
is turning around. Okay.
Fair
And the
enough.
country is turning around on its own strength. It's not turning around on fake numbers.
Okay,
We're
but
creating manufacturing in this country. Okay. Inflation is down. Now the health insurance,
DJ.
that's gotta be a big issue. It's gotta be. We gotta recover
Okay, all
from what
right. Well,
Obama
listen,
created.
DJ. I
Yeah,
can't
man.
convince you anymore. It is what it is. All right.
Nah, you can't, man.
All right.
You
But
can't. But I appreciate you letting me come up and at least debate with you.
yeah, that's fair. All right. And then I'm going to take care of business. All right. But you nice
You
try.
do what you gotta do,
All
brother.
right. Well,
Take
that's
care, man.
all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's DJ still in the fog. Bear with me. It's hold on. It's just amazing, DJ. You want to convince people that 3.7% wages increasing with inflation being 2.4%, that somehow we're doing way better. But you had no answers about why people's utility bills are going up, why people's healthcare costs are going up. You had no answers about why grocery prices and the price of clothing is going up. You couldn't tell me what everyone is paying on an annual level when it comes to the tariffs. They say it's anywhere between $1,000 to $3,000, DJ. And guess what? You're okay with that because you want me to do something that you do all the time, which is trust in Trump. I don't trust in Trump, all right? And I didn't even get into the Epstein files with you, DJ, but I already knew what you were going to do. You're going to deflect. And I don't got time for it. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in warming up that lake of fire for DJ. And that conversation wasn't just for DJ. It was actually for everybody that thinks like DJ. You know, and I told him, if you come in here, you might get your feelings hurt. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending that MAGA demon who got up here and tried to convince me that my bills aren't what they are. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending that demon straight to hell. DJ, you gotta stop.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
You're either stupid or you hate the country.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't know. I don't get bothered by MAGA and their lies anymore, right? Because you just listen to them and you're going, okay, keep on telling yourself that, right? While your dear leader is trying to rig the midterms. Hey, DJ, if he was doing so great, why is he trying to rig the midterms? The SAVE Act. I got another question, DJ. How did Donald Trump, and I haven't found a Trump supporter that can answer this. If Joe Biden had the borders wide open, right? This is their thing. We need the SAVE Act. Thank you, Ice Cold. And I am Ice Cold. If Joe Biden had wide open borders, right? Because MAGA believes this, right? Y'all believe Joe Biden had the borders wide open, MAGA? Watch this. Does MAGA believe Joe Biden had the borders? Identify yourselves in the comments section if you believe that Joe Biden had wide open borders. I want to see this. Okay. Y'all did. Okay. Yeah, I see Viper. Well, then my next question is this. How did he win? Remember, Biden opened the borders. W, Rick, thank you. You got it. And this is where the logic falls apart. If the borders were wide open, that meant in MAGA's mind, Biden opened them so that Biden could win the election, because that's why you would open the borders. But the exact opposite happened. Right? So, how did Donald Trump win with Biden's wide open borders, MAGA? And then I need you to keep that answer and you move that into the SAVE Act, right? Because if all the people have been sent out of the country because he's doing such a great job with mass deportations, then who is he targeting with the SAVE Act? Just a question, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I know they won't give me any answers. W Zeus. I do this. I do this all the time. All right, seriously. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. I got to get to the rest of them. Good morning, Nutty. How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
So what I notice is that we are fighting a losing battle with these people. DJ, like Trump, is a proven liar. Like Trump, he wants to fashion himself after Donald Trump because he looks up to Donald Trump. He wants to get to the ranks of being the consummate liar like Donald Trump, because I remember a time on this live specifically, DJ put down some hard lines saying that if this ever happened, I wouldn't support him.
Correct.
Those hard lines have been crossed and crossed and crossed, but yet DJ still supports him. So there is a New York Times article
Yeah.
that's dated today.
Mm-hmm.
This is in today's New York Times. It's entitled President Trump's Approval Ratings, Latest Polls. And this is from the author of this, the polling researcher. Her name is Caroline Solar. Paragraph that she wrote. President Trump continues to face low approval ratings, which for the first time have fallen below where they stood at the same point in his first term. Much of the erosion appears tied to immigration issues, which were once one of the most popular policy areas. In a recent Quinnipiac survey, Trump's approval on immigration fell to its lowest point this term, while the Mayor's poll found that 65%
Yeah.
not this is not last year, 2 years ago, 4 years ago. This is today. Okay? Here's the deal, DJ. You want to continuously blame others except blaming the people or the person that needs to be blamed. Donald Trump is in control of his own numbers by doing the right thing. He refuses to do the right thing. That's why his numbers are in the gutter, right where you are and right where you belong, DJ. Because he refuses to do the right thing for U.S. citizens.
Boy, some of them said that they misheard the audio. The audio went out. Can you all hear us? Hold on.
Testing 1, 2.
Can you all hear us now?
Some people seem to hear, but I don't know.
Okay, they can hear you. All right. Thank you.
but yeah, so that it really boggles my mind how we can continue just trying to show them what's in front of their face. Because DJ absolutely blamed on national media. The national media is the reason why his polls are so low. No, DJ.
He said I was
wrong.
the reason too. He said me and you, people like you and I, we are the reason his polls numbers are low.
You know what? I wish I had that much power, because if I had that much power, we wouldn't be talking about Donald Trump today, because he wouldn't be sitting in the White House.
Bingo. Yeah.
I wish I had that much power.
Yeah. See, and that's what this is about.
But yet, just go pick up something and read it, DJ, instead of your feelings. So when we get on here and when we speak about the harms that Donald Trump and his regime and administration, the harms that Donald and his regime is perpetuating on the people of the United States and people in general, that's no one's fault but his.
Exactly.
So his numbers are going to remain where they are until he starts doing the right thing. And I'm going to put my money on the fact that he will never do the right thing.
Bingo.
So Congress needs to do the right thing and get him out of the White House.
Amen.
With that, have a good day.
All right, W Nutty. See, it really doesn't take long, ladies and gentlemen. And you know, it's a sideshow. They're going to be pulling to try to keep themselves in the game. But MAGA, you're pretty much done. And speaking of pretty much done, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to my other part of the show that I wanted to actually get up here and talk about. All right, because this is and this is called where is the outrage? All right, now. When a black man attacked the woman Irina Zaruska in North Carolina, we saw a lot of people on the right, black and white content creators, ready to rush and demonize that black man. Sort of like what they're doing with Michael Jordan right now. You know, you see the video of Michael Jordan doing something, questionable. It's just amazing they can quickly demonize black men, even when they're wrong, right? But there's no justice. There's no real outrage when it comes to the exact same thing happening. And so there's another situation that was brought to my attention. I'm definitely butchering her name, and it's no offense, and no, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to her family at all. But another Ukrainian woman was unalived. And we're going to at least get this on the record because we got to give these folks the justice that they deserve. And it's typical usual suspect. So bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Hold on.
At the recital last year, she was mesmerizing.
There you go. and my question is this, MAGA, where's the outrage? Here we go. Let's see. Oh my God, there it is, right there, ladies and gentlemen. Okay.
To Ohio after killing Katerina Tovmash.
We are hearing from the best friend of this Ukrainian refugee killed in Moore County. Her out-of-state ex-boyfriend is the suspect.
Right now, there is no extradition date for Caleb Fosnow. Deputies say he went back to Ohio after killing Katerina Tovmash and Fort Bragg soldier Matthew Wade. WR's Megan Clarity learned more about one of the victims and what led to the shooting, and she joins us in the studio. Megan.
Well, Gerald, investigators say 21-year-old Katerina's ex-boyfriend did this. They say he tried to get away, driving toward his hometown in Ohio immediately after killing the couple in Vass, but he didn't make it. Troopers in Ohio pulled him over and took him into custody. Now he's waiting to be transferred back here to face murder charges.
That's what I want others to know. That was not supposed to happen. That's not normal in this world.
When Kirill Prishepkuk learned his childhood friend, Katya Tovmash, had been murdered, he took to Facebook to tell her story, his mind going to their last conversation.
She told me everything. She updated me on her life. And she was happy. That's what I knew. I knew that she was happy.
He says Tovmash fled the war in Ukraine a few years ago, and her parents and 5 younger siblings followed. Katya, who went by Kate, played the piano, traveled, and helped care for her youngest siblings, who she was watching the morning she died.
She was killed in front of her little brother, who was 6 years old.
Also killed, Tovmash's boyfriend, 28-year-old Matthew Wade, a soldier at Fort Bragg. Investigators took her ex-boyfriend, Caleb Fosnog, into custody, who sources say the kids led into the house, not knowing he was planning to kill the couple.
It's not supposed to happen with anyone, but especially to her. She was just a good person.
So my question now is this. Where's the outrage, MAGA? White man, typical suspect, can't control his anger issues. Checked off all the boxes, unalived the man, and he was serving the country. What's going on? They're quiet, aren't they? They're real quick to jump on Michael Jordan and any other person of color, illegal immigrants. You saw what Pam Bondi did. Every time we jammed them up about these guys doing harmful things to children, you want to point to a person of color, but you ain't got no smoke when we catch you behaving the way we all understand you behave. Never, ever able to actually, well, some do, but for the most part, a lot of you don't. And I'm talking about MAGA. You never take accountability for your own behavior. You're sick. And it's the MAGA demon in you that has this country going in the wrong direction. It's going to be worse than a 1929 style depression, all right? Seriously. So what we're going to do is this, ladies and gentlemen. Join me in warming up this lake of fire, all right? Because whole Lake and Riley, say Katerina, all right? And then do the right thing and start locking up all of these violent people that are on the right. Because most of the violent, you know what I'm saying? Join me in sending this MAGA demon where he truly, truly belongs, straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
Yeah. Where's the outrage, MAGA? Where is the outrage? Oh, you know what's sick? It's what's really sick is MAGA has proven to me that they will sell out their souls for the almighty dollar, so to speak. Anything for that almighty dollar, which includes Jeffrey Epstein. It's really disturbing. And so what we'll listen to real quick, ladies and gentlemen, and then again, I'll get back to having some more dialogue, is Hillary Clinton accusing the Trump administration of Epstein files cover up. All right. And I want to get this on the record because every day Donald Trump has a new story about what Jeffrey Epstein and his relationship was really all about. All right. So let's get this on the record, ladies and gentlemen. And again, this is straight from the horse's mouth. And you know what? You know where I stand. You know what? If they are in the files, you know what? They gotta fry. All right. So let's listen to this.
Between Epstein, Maxwell, and the Clinton family.
Well, let me start by saying that a law was passed in Congress to require that all the files that have anything to do with them be released. And what we're seeing, I think it's fair to say, is a continuing cover-up by the Trump administration. In fact, when the Attorney General testified last week, it was quite a scene because she refused to answer questions. She diverted attention away from the matters at hand. She refused to look at the survivors. So there's something about this administration's attitude toward this, which I think really leads us to conclude they have something to hide.
Bingo.
We don't. We have been willing to say whatever we know. We've even done it under oath. But they want us to testify, not everyone else who's mentioned many, many times, hundreds of thousands of times in these files.
And his friends.
So we've said, fine, let us do it in public. And we will appear in public and we'll answer all your questions.
And we'll get to that in just a moment. But just to be clear, do you regret the links that there have been?
You know, we have no links. We have a very clear record that we've been willing to talk about, which my husband has said. He took some rides on the airplane for his charitable work. I don't recall ever meeting him.
Did you ever meet Ghislaine Maxwell?
I did on a few occasions, and thousands of people go to the Clinton Global Initiative. So it to me is not something that is really at the heart of what this matter is about. They are accused, and in both cases were convicted of horrific crimes against girls and women. That should be the focus. And we are more than happy to say what we know, which is very limited and totally unrelated to their behavior or their crimes. And we want to do it in public because let's make this transparent. The survivors deserve that. The public deserves that. But, you know, the Republican member of Congress who is running this hearing or this investigation is trying to protect the president. So let's get to what's really at stake here.
So, you know, I can listen to that. And honestly, I don't even like the answers that Hillary Clinton is giving. All right. You gotta speak with conviction, right? You either knew Jeffrey Epstein or you didn't. If you knew him, you got to come clean. But at least she's moving in the direction where we're trying to get real answers and we need people to testify in public. Now, you go and listen to what Hillary is saying. And by the way, Hillary is not the president of the United States, right? So we have to take what she is saying with a grain of salt, all right? Because you know what? She's got different motives. But let's listen to what Donald Trump said yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. Say, listening to Donald Trump, you're going, okay, why does the story about your relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, why does it keep changing, right? Why does this story keep changing, all right? And I've heard so many different versions.
Said in an interview today that she and her husband are getting pulled into the Epstein matter to divert attention.
So he's being asked about what Hillary Clinton just said, which was he's basically hiding what he's done with Epstein, right? Listen to Donald Trump lie and say, oh, he has nothing to hide.
They don't want voter ID. No voter ID. And I put that down in the same category with men playing in women's sports. I'm going to add a fourth category. They don't want voter ID. Go ahead.
So Hillary Clinton said in an interview today that she and her husband are getting pulled into the Epstein matter
I've been exonerated. I have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein.
Does anyone believe that? Does anyone believe that? Did y'all hear what he just said? And you always know he's hiding because when he was friends with W to the chat.
From you and that your administration has something to hide. What's your response?
I have nothing to hide. I've been exonerated. I have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. They went in hoping that they'd find it and found just the opposite. I've been totally exonerated. In fact, Jeffrey Epstein was fighting that I don't get elected with some author, a sleazebag, by the way. And I've been totally exonerated. No, they're getting pulled in, and that's their problem. I don't know. They're going to have to see what happens. But I watched her in Munich, and she seriously has Trump derangement syndrome.
Do you think that she should publicly testify?
You know, I've been totally exonerated on Epstein. And it's really interesting because they've been pulled in. Think of it. They've been pulled in. Clinton and many other Democrats have been pulled in, yeah.
The USS Gerald Ford.
So what we got right there, ladies and gentlemen, is proof that Donald Trump obviously has a lot to hide. Because you don't say anything like that unless you do got something to hide. Why won't he go into any details about the birthday card that him and Epstein had together? And he shouldn't call him Jeffrey Epstein. He should use the name he always used, which was Jeffrey, because that's how he referred to Jeffrey Epstein. Why can't we get any clarity about what that whole fallout was really about from this guy? Every time it's, I have nothing to hide. And then I just heard that there's over 46 terabytes of data, ladies and gentlemen. And we only got a very, very small fraction of it. And so this is, to me, ladies and gentlemen, as far as I'm concerned, the biggest issue in the MAGA cult. This is the biggest issue of the MAGA cult. And before we get straight to judgment, I'm going to play a clip from another disgruntled Trump supporter, ladies and gentlemen, who has also decided, you know what? He's going to tuck tail. And he's done with Donald Trump too. All right. And so let's listen to this former MAGA, I guess. He said, "I'm done with the Trump administration. They have been lying to me and I just can't take it anymore." All right, let's go. And who is this? This is Sean Ryan. And he's done interviews with Ro Khanna, but I'm playing this because when you get people to coming up here and they go, "Well, Trump is doing pretty good. And it's you, Zeus. You're making his poll numbers go down." Well, no. Maybe I'm doing it in an indirect way, but the reality is Donald Trump is making it go down.
I've been pretty quiet about Pam Bondi in front of Congress the other day, talking about how the Dow's up to 50,000. Nobody gives a fuck, because what you should be talking about is how you are going to investigate and prosecute any pedophiles that were running around on Epstein Island that you're affiliated with. But we didn't talk about that, did we? Oh, and what's the excuse? What was the excuse? Oh, if we prosecute everybody, the whole system would go down. Well, you know what that sounds like? That sounds like how Trump ran his campaign. Let's drain the swamp. Doesn't that sound a lot like draining the swamp? It actually is drain the swamp served up to you on a fucking silver platter. But you're not going to take it, are you? You're going to protect pedophiles. You're going to protect pedophiles rather than go after them and hope that everybody's happy that the Dow hit 50,000. Are you fucking out of your mind? I guess the whole drain the swamp campaign promise was another fucking bullshit lie, huh? Man, the lies are stacking up fast. I've never seen so many fucking lies appear in, a year? It's only been a fucking year. Look at all the fucking lies. I wanted to talk to you about something else, too. Then you got Pam Bondi and what's that other guy's name? Todd Blanche. Yeah, running around giving Ro Khanna and Massey all this shit because they accidentally put two names that are apparently innocent, out that were in the Epstein files. Well, I got fucking news for you. You have two guys that are in Congress that are actually doing shit, and you give them shit because they made a mistake when they're trying to do the fucking job of the entire Department of Justice, because nobody over there will do their fucking job when it comes to putting pedophiles away in prison. So you give them shit because two people are trying to do the job of the entire Department of Justice. Fuck you. Fuck you. And here's another thing I'm getting tired of is seeing all these fucking politicians, congressmen, senators, fucking talking about all the shit that they saw in the unredacted files. And then you know what they do? They go right to X and they post about it and tell us all how shocked we would be of what's in those fucking files. Guess what, congressmen? Guess what, senators? There's the speech and debate clause that says you cannot be sued for anything you say on the House floor. So here's a tip. Get to fucking work. Permission granted. Oh, and one last thing. One last thing. I saw this shit pop up the other day. Obama goes on some random podcast that nobody's ever heard of and just happens to drop, oh, aliens are real. Yeah, tell me that shit's not fucking orchestrated. Right in the middle of the biggest pedophile ring exposed in the fucking world, all of a sudden, we're gonna drop that aliens are real. Fuck you, motherfucker. Fuck you.
Now, obviously, this guy has a serious case of Obama derangement syndrome, so we're going to give him the booze for that. But that's Obama derangement syndrome, bro. You didn't have to. Why do Trump voters always have to find something about a Democrat when they voice their complaints about their dear leader? Now, the bulk of that interview, it was about MAGA's dear leader, Donald Trump, right? And here's the thing, and this goes back to the conversation that I just had with DJ. Whether we're talking about the economy, whether we're talking about foreign policy, whether we're talking about, you name it, right? Especially the e-files. Donald Trump is constantly lying. And every single one of his supporters, in one way or another, they're starting to wake up and realize that they've been duped, they've been lied to. And it goes back to the conversation that I had with the gentleman yesterday. I wouldn't even call him a gentleman. When you realize that you've been duped and lied to, you got a lot of work to do, Sean Ryan. You got a lot of work to do. Because I saw this coming miles, light years away. All right? This is another example of why I have always maintained integrity and a person's character. All of that matters when you're picking a person to lead the free world. You cannot separate the two, because if you try, you will end up right where you're at right now. I believe Sean is upset, not necessarily because of the things that Donald Trump did. I think he's more upset at the fact that he now is waking up and realizing that he's been lied to. Yes, you've loaned your platform out to people who have been lying, and you actively supported these liars. And so this is why I got to send Sean Ryan. I mean, I appreciate the candid remarks and the criticism of dear leader, because that's going to get you into trouble. But at the end of the day, this is why I say we wouldn't be here as a country if MAGA would simply practice being truthful. Because I could be truthful. If I'm wrong, I'm the most humble person, right? If I'm wrong, I'll be the first to apologize. I don't want to go down a path. I don't want to go 10 years in the wrong direction and commit all kinds of things and do things that I know I'm ultimately going to have to either apologize for or die being a fool. Die being a fool about. So that's why it's important for you to be humble, right? But MAGA doesn't want to do that. They will literally consume and repeat these lies at their own peril. And that's why I take great pleasure in doing this. Ladies and gentlemen, DJ, this is for you, because every time I see this, I see you. I don't know why, but it applies to you too, because I know you're covering up for Epstein. Join me in sending DJ, once again, Sean Ryan, and all these Trump voters who ignored all of Donald Trump's red flags, but are slowly starting to wake up a little bit. Join me in sending them straight to hell. Yeah, I feel better. Yeah. It's a huge W.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
W, Zeus. Like I said, and we're really at a place now where I don't even think we're debating with MAGA anymore. We're really asking you, what's wrong? What's wrong? Don't get up here and tell me, well, Zeus, it's people like you making me feel uncomfortable to be a Democrat, so that's why I went out and basically nuked myself in the voting booth. No, it's not me. It's the fact that you're too weak and sensitive to take accountability yourself and realize that you clearly lack the ability to get over yourself and realize that yes, you are the minority, and not just I'm talking about skin color, but the way you think, your ideology. You are sick. You are twisted. You're evil. You're demented, and no amount of projection is going to allow you to escape this. All right, and this is going to be a very painful lesson the entire country has to go through, and I'm up for it. All right, because you know what, we're not going to surrender our country to you, but yeah, we're going to definitely make sure you learn the lesson, MAGA. Make sure you understand. Never do this again. All right, and that's a huge W, Zeus. All right. Now I'm ready to take some more callers. I'm so sorry. You know, I try to mix it up. All right. So if you are brave enough to get in the box, please send me a guest request. All right. But number one, make sure you double check that you are not in my guest request and you've done so accidentally, because we don't want to have all of that going on again on this show. All right. Seriously. Moving it along. All right. Who do we got next? Let's see. Let's see. Who we got? I gotta bring up my good sister Kabira. Hi, Kabira. How are you? It's amazing. I get you 2 times in a row. Hi.
Hey, hi, Zeus. You know what? I didn't request. I promise you I didn't.
Okay. I got you.
All right, brother.
I got you. W. See? And I bet not see, what's his name? Ronald Smith. I bet not see you in the guest request. I better not, bro, because yesterday you popped up in here 2 times and I said, something's going on over there. Good morning, Q Dog. Welcome to the show. You see him, Sheik Fit. Good morning, Q Dog. Are you there? Can you hear me? Now I can hear you. Welcome.
Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right.
This new TikTok is acting crazy. DJ. Lord have mercy. I really think he just does this just to get attention. Because everybody sees exactly where Orange Man's polls are.
Yeah.
CNN clearly showed you that his polls are lower than they were his first term. Like, he's doing a crappy job, point blank period. And you're so gung ho for Trump, that you don't have the balls enough to admit that as a man that you're wrong.
That part.
That's the part that really baffles me. All these folks that claim that they are men and they you don't have the balls enough to say that you're wrong. Stand on your manhood.
Yeah. It's
and
not
of
even
course,
it's not even about debating it anymore, right? We're at the point where they're clearly wrong. Why can't you admit it? Why can't you acknowledge it? It doesn't make any sense.
and your fearless leader, he always seems to try to make it about himself. Now, of course, you know, my fraternity brother passed on today, Reverend Jesse Jackson. Trump decides to take that opportunity to make it about himself.
Yeah. R.I.P.
I
read his
really,
post.
I can't fathom how another man wants to hold another man's jock strap and do whatever it takes.
I think
Whatever it takes.
I think he did it though because of the backlash about, him being racist. He's trying to do anything he can to make it seem like he's not a racist person. And that means, to your point,
Of course.
trying to take advantage of this situation, right? Now he's all of a sudden, oh, I love Jesse Jackson and this and that. And I know people on the right are going to run with this and say, oh, look, you see, he's not a racist person.
We said this long time ago. Fred Trump. The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree.
Mm-hmm.
When you hanging around a bunch of white tea supremacists and triple Ks, and you grow up in that era and see that, you're going to take on those traits, just like those white tea supremacists and triple Ks.
Facts.
This is the reason why they follow him. But you want to keep saying and keep spewing the rhetoric that he's not racist. What are you trying to convince yourself? You trying to convince... What did we say a long time ago, Zeus?
What's that?
The greatest trick that devil ever pulled on the world.
Oh.
To convince them that he did not exist. These ain't nothing but his demons running around here.
Yeah.
To convince the world they don't exist. Oh, I'm not racist. I'm for the people. I have 3 black friends. Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah. Yeah, tell them.
But y'all keep falling for it.
Yeah.
You keep falling for it time and time again. Just convince yourself, well, I know he ain't doing what he's supposed to do, but something's got to come good out of this, or I'm gonna look like a damn fool. Too late.
They do.
You're already looking like a fool.
Amen, amen. Tell them, Q-Dog. They know.
I just don't understand how somebody... this is nothing but a modern day Jim Jones. Like, I'm trying to figure out what Kool-Aid did Trump give y'all to convince you that he is the man. I'm still trying to question how you claim that you believe in God, but you putting this man before God.
Amen, amen.
If you're not happy here,
go ahead, Q-Dog. Tell him.
Convince me that y'all MAGA, y'all say y'all Christians, you say you love God, you love Jesus or whatnot, but you keep putting this man that can't put you in a heaven or a hell in front of you, your family, your friends, and anybody that is thinking like you. Make it make sense.
Yeah, make it make sense.
Because at this point, you ain't got to convince us. Now you got to convince God. Well, wait a minute. No. I seen what you doing down there. I knew you was going to do it before you knew you was going to do it. This guy talking to y'all, MAGA, if you keep up.
Yeah.
I know this pace is a little bit slow when we have conversations, but keep up. This is God talking to you now. I knew what you were going to do. And you put this man, because of greed and power, and you ain't getting none of that. Help me understand it. You ain't even got a Doge check yet.
Nope. But remember, the economy's doing good according to some folks, right?
What are you looking for? Oh, yeah, the economy's doing good. $10 a box of cereal. You can't even afford to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner in one day.
Yeah.
But the economy's good. Yeah. Oh, by the way, gas did go back up. I went and got some gas. It was $2.89 a gallon.
Oh, how low did it get for you though? Honestly,
on the lowest I seen it was $2.39.
So then went back up to $2.89.
And that I take that back. $2.26 at Costco. Now we all know that Costco has the lowest gas because you have to pay for a membership.
True.
You have to pay for a membership to get that extra discount. It's back up.
Wow. And then you hear him up here bragging about January's job numbers as if those won't end up being revised either. It's truly a sickness. And
I really, one thing I really want to tap in on, we've been dealing with that conversation over and over again about January 6th.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how is it? It's real funny. You said, oh, it was such peaceful. It was a peaceful protest. But we actually seeing the video footage of the person that Pam Bondi has now employed yelling at the top of his lungs, unalive him.
Yep.
And he's talking about the police officers.
Yep. They got the criminals with
Any of y'all MAGA want to come up here and elaborate on that? You can't say that was AI. We ain't even gonna go down that path. You can't even say that was AI. Come on, MAGA. I'm waiting for you. DJ, Tiny Tank Top Tim, Wild Man. I'm quite sure y'all's lurking in the woods back.
They
in
don't
the woods
feel
of
welcomed in here.
of the chat.
They don't feel welcomed in here, Q Dog.
Janae, where you at? Where you at, Janae? I know you lurking around the corner up under a rock. Come on up here. Address that.
Yeah, they won't. They won't.
See, y'all quick to say, oh, you called me up. See, I'm up here right now. Last time I was up here, Tiny Tank Top Tim. Oh, you called me out and now you're gone. No. I'm calling you up right now. Come on up here. If Zeus want to bring you up, come on up here. I want to hear this story from you.
Yeah. They don't. We've totally obliterated MAGA on this show. And that's an awesome job. That's a W to Q Dog. Well, listen, we're gonna move it on, bro. Yeah. And I say thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it up to Q Dog. Yeah. If someone does come up though, we'll get him and tag him Shaq and Kobe style. All right.
Oh, I'll be out. I'll be in the chat, just lurking like the rest of those minions.
Fair enough. Fair enough. W's in the chat for Q Dog. Low lies detected. Yeah. You see, ladies and gentlemen, it's not that difficult, ladies and gentlemen. Get up here and tell the truth. Yeah, so if you're a Trump voter, identify yourselves in the comments section. Otherwise, we will continue doing because you saw what we do. We don't even really need to debate MAGA anymore. What we'll do is we'll just let them expose themselves as terrible individuals. I mean, it's at a point, ladies and gentlemen, where you're going, what are we really trying to get accomplished with these folks that aren't able to actually think for themselves? Good morning. Who do we have next? Who do we got next, ladies and gentlemen? Let's see. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump voter. All right, I'm just trying to make sure. MAGA is scared. Yeah, they are, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. Who do we have coming up? Let's see. Who is this? Martha. Martha, good morning. Martha, did you know you're in the box?
No, so sorry.
Okay, all right, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, listen, everyone. Make sure you double check to see if you have accidentally sent a guest request, because I might end up bringing you up, and you might be doing something you don't want us to hear you doing in the background. So double check. Woodmonger. Woodmonger. Huh. That's the devil right there, ladies and gentlemen. You know we can't have none of that on this show. Nuh-uh. The idle mind is the devil's playground, and you shouldn't be doing that this early in the morning. I don't know what that was, but you need to knock it off, you sick animal. You sick creature. Ladies and gentlemen, that's evilness. Let's go ahead and send that nasty demon straight to hell. I don't know what you're doing watching this show. Getting off to me. Wow.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
Getting off on Big Zeus, ladies and gentlemen. Getting off on Big Zeus. These folks are sick. I tell you, it's a sick world out here. Sick world. I never heard nothing like that. These people are sick. Demon time. Demon time. It's too early in the morning to be doing that. It's too early. Good morning, Takesha. You heard that? You heard that? You heard that?
I'm trying not to laugh, man. That was so funny to me. Oh my God,
Takesha,
man.
please. Takesha, come on now. You know the Lord ain't satisfied with that.
I'm sorry, Zeus. That was funny, man.
To the chat.
Oh my goodness.
Do I have to turn the
And
comments
then,
off? Because they
wait
so
a minute.
I can't have no sin in the comments. Now don't make me get all
And then when you said they were getting off on Zeus, you make it worse, man. You gotta stop. You gotta be stopped. Oh, that was so funny,
Oh
man.
my!
Goodness
I
gracious.
never heard nothing like that. I mean, you got to be a sick person to pull Big Zeus up in the morning and try to use
Oh,
that to get
man.
down to. That's some sick next level nastiness. I mean, and
Zeus, that was funny.
I
I'm
never
sorry.
seen nothing like that. Yeah.
Man, that was hilarious.
Okay, now take it easy
Let me get
over there.
myself,
Take
let
it
me
easy
get
over
myself
there.
together.
Okay.
I'm trying to get myself together.
Okay,
Listen, Zeus.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I
Oh, Lord, help
apologize to
me.
all of you out there. That's why I tell people do not send a guest request because we might catch you doing something you don't want people to know you did.
Help me, Lord. Listen, D. Let me say this about DJ.
Uh,
DJ proved a very good point today that we have been saying about MAGA for years. If they really want information that's going to make Trump look worse than Biden, they're never gonna pull it up. DJ refused to pull up Joe Biden's job numbers versus Donald Trump's 1 year. He was tapping so hard when he was looking up all that other stuff. You would have thought he was Sammy Davis Jr. tap dancing on a show.
Hey, that's
but when you ask,
that's a good one.
But when you ask DJ to pull up Biden's numbers, DJ said, well, Zeus, you've got it right there. Why don't you tell me? He didn't want to prove it with his computer.
Yeah.
Because his computer only goes for Trump.
Thank you, Takesha.
Think about it, Zeus.
Yeah, no.
He want.
And I even at one point said, okay, DJ, fine. I'm going with you. Just to show I can be a reasonable person. Under normal conditions, I don't do that. Right? Because
DJ ain't pull up nothing about Joe Biden.
Nope.
But everything he wanted to prove about Donald Trump, he clickety clack and pulled it up. DJ is a piss poor, pitiful cult member, and he don't even know it.
Hey.
Zeus, if I got a dub,
you got it right. You got it right. I can't say it because I'm the host, but
yeah, I'ma say it. Zeus, let me say this. Because I want to talk about these fake numbers that MAGA, that Trump and them keep putting out.
Yeah.
If I got a dozen eggs, Zeus, we going with the unemployment. If I got a dozen eggs and I cook 6 of them and I put them back in the refrigerator,
all right.
When I go in there the next morning to cook me some more eggs, is it going to be 18 eggs in that carton, Zeus?
Nope.
That's what Trump wants us to believe about the unemployment numbers.
Yeah.
You done fired all these federal workers.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody hiring, but you want us to think that people are hiring and the unemployment is going down.
Now listen, flesh and blood did not reveal that to you, all right? Now keep on going.
I'ma hang Zeus, I got a violation. It had to be DJ.
W. Takesha, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that happened to you, but they don't like hearing the truth, ladies and gentlemen. That's my good friend Takesha. Yeah. Zeus, how are we heading towards a 1929 style depression, bro? Okay, keep on playing with fire. You'll end up getting burned, all right? Who wants to come up next, ladies and gentlemen? All right, identify yourselves. If you are a Trump voter, please identify yourselves, all right? Well, don't actually. Never mind. I've had enough. All right, I've had enough. I've had enough. We can't get unless you're willing to be honest this morning. All right. Other than that, I don't want to hear it because we're tired of just trying to talk to you and make you make things that make sense, say things that make sense. Good morning, Michael. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Zeus, that was a mistake. My bad. I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to come up.
All right, fair enough. All right, ladies and gentlemen, right there, Michael. I don't want to see you in the guest request again. If I catch you again, We're going to have some very, very tough conversations. All right. Moving on to the next guest. All right. Who is this? Who do I have next? Uh-oh. I mean, there's so many amazing people I want to hear from, and you just never get to hear from them. All right. Accepted. Let's see. It says, oh, I got to remove Takesha. I removed you. Live visibility restricted for 10 minutes. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We got. No wonder. I didn't see it. Yeah. Well, you know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. That means Big Zeus has to do a quick little restart, all right? Because, we got to protect the account, so that's a huge W. Zeus. We'll restart it. We got a few more minutes, and then we'll wrap things up on the show, but thank you, everyone, all right? I'll be right back.